Welcome to Side Project Saturday. So today I'll be discussing about 7 side project ideas that you can start in 2021. So this is based on the Malaysian changes in their search behavior in 2020 during the pandemic era. So what happens is I've gotten the data from Google, 1 year data, which means that it compares like 1st Jan 2020 to 31st December 2020 and also 1st Jan 2019 to 31st December 2019, the data between these 2 years, and then they compare to see that what are Malaysians searching the most during this past 1 year as compared to 2019 before the COVID. So yeah, let's look at this report, which I'll put in the link below for you to download. Okay, so this is the report from Google. So let's look at the first opportunity. So total that for me, after reading through this report, I feel that there's 7 opportunities that you can take advantage of if you wish to start your side project. Okay, so the first one for me is the Buatan Malaysia, which means that during this pandemic, more people are choosing to buy local and also support SMEs to keep the economy going. So if your product, for example, if you are selling e-commerce product in your online store and your product is Buatan Malaysia, so just put the Buatan Malaysia word in your product sales page so that people will choose to support local. Let's say if you're comparing like to like with Buatan Malaysia and also made in different other overseas country and it's the same product and the pricing is also roughly the same, they are more likely to buy Buatan Malaysia product, as shown by this data of 4x, which means that 4x increase in searches for this Buatan Malaysia search term. So besides Buatan Malaysia, of course, if your product is also like environmental friendly, like for example, if it's reusable, green, any environmental friendly things in your product, you can also include it in your sales page. And so you can see that the rise in searches for cloth face mask as compared to surgical face mask. So that will be the first one, Buatan Malaysia. Second opportunity would be the rise in online learning. Okay, so you can see that 7x increase in searches for digital learning, jump in searches by 70% for what website, how to build a website. So which means that if you have any skills that you know you can actually teach online now, people are more receptive to like buy online courses to upskill themselves. So any skills that you know, just try to package it into a course, and that can be one of your side project as well. So what kind of skill that is more in demand for this based on this data is actually DIY type of skills. Yeah, so if you see that, let's say if you know how to do baking, cooking, or if you know how to like build your own range of products from your own home, how to do website, how to do marketing, graphic design, these kind of things. There's a lot of cara how to make this kind of thing because people are looking to learn new skills during this pandemic. Okay, so second one would be the rise in digital learning and also online learning. Okay, so that would be the second one. The third one would be to start a podcast based on your interests. So if you can see that there's actually 78% jump in YouTube searches for podcasts. So anything that you are interested in, you can actually start a podcast. So let's say you're interested in, even like if you're interested in sports, if you're interested in supporting Manchester United, you can also start a podcast just related to Manchester United. Or if you're interested to cooking, you can start a cooking podcast to talk about new recipes. So with the rise in podcasts, once you start a podcast, just try to make it localized to Malaysia as well. And then once your listeners grow, the money that you will get will come from sponsors, or you can also outreach to sponsors to say that for every episode you get X amount of listeners. So they will pay based on the average number of listeners in your podcast. So podcast is actually quite easy to get started because you don't really need much money to start. All you need is like a mic and also a podcast hosting, which will cost less than 200 ringgit. The third one will be podcast. Okay, let's move on to the fourth side project idea. So this will be based on services. Yeah, so you can see that 90% increase in the search term for Daftar, SM and also SSM business registration, which means that in 2020 there's more and more business registering to kickstart their business because everyone stay at home, nothing to do, or they have new ideas, they wish to start a business. So what happens is that if you know a skill and you have a service to offer, you can actually go and pitch businesses to give you money so that you can help them with, for example, web design, to manage their social media page, to help them to run marketing, to help them to submit taxes, to help them do accounting. So any skills that you have that's related to business, you can actually leverage on this opportunity because there's now, especially now, there's much more businesses that you can target as compared to say 2019. So that will be services. So if you have any services, you have any skills, you can actually start to outreach to business. So what you do is that you can go to their website, get their email address, and then one by one blast out the email to say that you're offering this service. And also because you are new, you would like to offer this service for a cheap price. And and ask them to like give you a chance so that you can show your skills. So fifth one is, of course, this is very straightforward, is health related interests because of the pandemic. So you can see that 100% increase in searches for how to boost your immune system, and also 30% for vitamins. So this is for people who sell, like if you have interest in selling health products, so this will be the one for you. Just so include this keyword of boosting immune system. So the things that you sell, you have to put in the word of this boost immune system. Okay, so fifth one is pretty straightforward. So let's go to number 6. Okay, number 6 is more for people with interest in selling like beauty products, or if you have, let's say, OEM beauty products. So these are the searches that people are searching for. Top queries related to skincare. So like skincare for oily skin, dry skin, combination skin, best skincare for acne. So instead of just trying to advertise your product as skincare, you can advertise as a specific one, like skincare for oily skin, skincare for dry skin. So it's more specific based on the searches that Malaysians are typing into the Google search term. So these are some of the ingredients. So if you have these ingredients in your products, you also add marks. Okay, so that would be for beauty, because people are now indoor more often, so they are looking more towards all these type of skincare products. And also you can see that there's increase in 30% for serum search terms. Okay, so the final one would be something interesting for people who stay at home and also have interest in cooking. So you go to page 51. So you can see that, no surprise, online deliveries are fast growing trends. And also most Malaysians are now home cooks. So which means that if you know any recipes or you're really good in cooking, you can actually cook the meals at home and then ask Lala Move to deliver your food to your customers. Or if let's say you don't wish to like deliver food to people, you can actually have a cookbook on all these recipes, like recipe tauhu bergedil, recipe donut, recipe ketayap. There's also plenty of different type of recipes like corn dog, burnt cheesecake. And speaking of burnt cheesecake, yeah, you can try the one, I think it's near Fahrenheit or something. That one is so far the best cheesecake that I've ever tasted. So recipe oden. So okay, so for me, this trend for the online food delivery, there's actually 2 parts that you can take advantage of. The first one is you cook and then you deliver to your customers through Lala Move. Or the second one is you create a cookbook based on the different recipes that people are searching, like easy recipes, recipes for home cooked food, recipes, all these kind of recipes lah, basically. Yeah, so there's a total of 7 opportunities. So let's just do a very quick recap. So the first one is Bottom Malaysia. Try to make your products to be like localized products so that people can like support local. So this is the trend of supporting local, you know, like the kita jaga kita, that kind of trend. Second one will be the uprise in online learning. So if you have any skills that you can teach, you can also package it into a course and you can sell your online products through learning platforms like say Teachable or Udemy. So the third one would be to start a podcast, talk about your areas of interest, and once you have grown the podcast, you'll get sponsors to give you money so that you can like include their name at the start of your podcast. So I would say that at least if you have consistent of 1,000 listeners in your episode every week, then you can start pitching for sponsors. Then the fourth one will be the rise in businesses. So more and more business, they are registering with SSM. So if you have any skills that you can offer them, like web design, accounting, or marketing, or video production, you can actually email to them. And then the fifth one would be health-related products. So if your health products can boost immune system, that'd be very good to sell now. And then sixth one would be beauty. So any beauty products that, for example, oily skin, dry skin, those kind of things. And then 7 one would be the food delivery that we just mentioned, which is to either deliver or create a recipe cookbook. So go through this full report. I think take about 1 hour to read through the report and see whether any of the trends is relevant for you, and then see whether if you have any new ideas if you wish to start a side project. So these are based on the trends that is really like booming based on this pandemic. What are people typing into Google? So this data is actually quite reliable, and hopefully you can use it for your own advantage. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Saturday.